Dr. Kathryn Primm, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So welcome to Connexity. Are you having a good time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. I hear from my boss, Dr. Jessica Vogelsang, very good things about you and that you are a big champion of AAHA. And you're also a fellow podcaster.
That is true.
So
that is definitely true.
She said we needed to meet.
Okay, yeah. I have a couple of podcasts mostly directed towards the pet owning population. And one
Hallelujah.
one is for cats, and it's called 9 Lives with Dr. Cat. And the other one is for cat lovers. And dog lovers is called Dr. Cat Gone to the Dogs.
Those are good names, catchy. And I think it's always nice to have podcasts that we can point people to, for like, hey, if you want to know more information about this is a great podcast to check out. I'm definitely making note of that.
Awesome.
Because more power to you, because it did occur to me at one point to make a podcast for pet owners, and I just couldn't tackle it. It's a lot.
It is.
Have you been doing it a long time?
I just recorded my 99th episode.
Wow.
So yes. But I think the podcast space is pretty busy, and I just want to make sure that people are getting good information about how to care for their pets.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's a lot of information out there that you'd rather not be there. So you have to be
yes, for sure.
Stand out a little. Yeah. It's like the Wild West podcasting.
Yes, absolutely.
And so what else do you do? What brings you to Connexity?
Well, I actually own a practice, a small animal practice, dogs and cats only. And so we are an AAHA accredited practice. So I wanted to learn as much as I could from Connexity.
And what do you think so far?
Fun. Yeah, good.
Yeah. I really love the energy here. This is my first time here, and I really love it. I think it's a good size, and the people here seem like they really genuinely are passionate about vet med. Like they're excited about it and want to learn and grow, and I love that.
Well, one of my soapboxes, I guess, is that I think we can make the world of veterinary medicine and the world at large a better place with positivity and lifting people up. And so the theme of making the world a better place is like perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Well, that's what I was going to ask you. The theme is create a better world. Aside from a place where people are positive and love what they do, like what specifically does that better world in vet med look like to you?
I think that the world of social media and probably podcasts, I may be a little bit guilty too, but has allowed people to have a forum or a platform for their voice. And it created this competition for attention. And just like with toddlers and puppies, negative attention is sometimes as good as positive attention. And so we've sort of started being sarcastic or funny or trying to be funny, pointing out negative things and, oh, I hate my job and, oh, this and that. And I think it just puts too much emphasis on the negativity for our mental health.
It is true. We tell ourselves stories, and we're influenced, the stories we tell ourselves are influenced so much by what we hear and see from other people, especially other people who we view as like us. And too much of that energy is going to change the stories we tell ourselves. So surrounding ourselves with that positive energy can affect the stories in a good way. And especially in vet med, just such a small world.
Yeah, well, and you want to feel like there are other people going through what you're going through, and that is a really positive thing, but where do you stop?
Right.
Where does it become commiserating?
Right.
Like just having misery fests.
Yeah.
And I think that's the place where we can make a difference of, okay, I feel you, I hear you, I'm going through that, but we can make this better.
Yeah.
Or, we can move forward together.
And not instead of fixing the actual problems that are underlying the issues, but also you're more in a frame of mind to fix things or to want to be part of the solution when you frame things in a more positive light.
I agree.
We can get better. We can make a change. Yeah. There definitely are a lot of issues in vet med right now that seem really daunting. And so do you have one piece of advice for like, how do you cope if you're sort of facing a really challenging day and you're kind of stuck in that space? How do you get yourself out of it?
It's funny. Today when we were listening to the keynote, and she put up a graphic that said something about 40% of our outlook is something that we can control. And she said that scared me or daunted me because the other things were not in my control. Whereas I looked at that and I'm like, oh man, 40%. If somebody told me I could help my patients, 40% of my patients, by doing this one thing, I would think that was great. I would think that was a great number. So I guess it just depends on your perspective. It's daunting, but it's doable.
Yeah. At that perspective, it helps to have people around you who will remind you of that too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you get stuck in your own head, it's like a dark cloud, and you just need somebody to be like, hey, remember that thing you told me that time? You know, tell that to yourself now. Because we aren't always kind to ourselves in this profession.
Right.
We're very good at not being kind to ourselves, or even not thinking that we need to be. We sort of dismiss ourselves, I feel like sometimes, because we're so busy taking care of so many other people. So that's great advice. And there's a lot of good people talking about positive psychology and the changes that gratitude can make. Like Carrie Journey, our keynote from this morning, she talks a lot about gratitude and how it changed her brain. It really does. So I love that. I love all those conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just love, my mom always said to me, if you see someone without a smile, give them yours.
Oh.
So that always stuck with me. So when I walk around a meeting and I see people just meeting me, I just smile at them. I mean, if that can make a difference for that one person, then it's easy.
I can attest that this is true. Because you were very friendly at dinner last night, and I didn't know you, and you smiled. It was good. You know, it's like overwhelming. You're surrounded by all these people you don't know, and someone smiles at you. It's a really good feeling, and that never changes.
And it's free.
And it's free, yes, and takes almost no effort most of the time. Some days more than others, but you can usually make it happen. They've done research in long distance running. So I'm a runner, and they've done research that if you smile, it hurts less. So you actually do feel like you're working harder if you're not smiling. There's like the fastest runner in the world is a big proponent of that. So you look at him and he's running like 4-minute miles, at the end of a marathon, and he's smiling because he says it helps. So, if he can do it, we can do it. So, look, Dr. Kathryn Primm, thank you so much for coming by.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference. And we'll have to check out your podcast. I hope everybody listening does too. And it's a good place to send pet owners who have questions we can't answer that day.
It's on Spotify and all of the major podcast platforms.
Wonderful.
Thanks again.
Thank you.